Hey everyone, welcome back. Coach Leah here. I am your money wise mom and I help busy adults just like you take control of their finances because the struggle is real. I know, I've been there and I get it. And what I'm going to do today, we're going to talk some higher level concepts because I'm prepping you for my video next week. We're going to do a tutorial on how to build a realistic budget based on what matters most to you. So we're going to walk through 3 phases. And I want to just talk about those phases today to get you ready. And I want you to start thinking about what you want to do with your money. What if you could? What if you had enough money? If only. What's the answer to that question? If only I had the money, I would, and then fill in the blank. But what I want you to get comfortable with is the idea that the world we live in is microwave, quick fix, pops out with perfection, and we know behind the scenes that that's not the case. A lot of times there's a lot more struggle in fresh beginnings. There's a struggle in new beginnings. And when you're first building your new cash flow plan, your spending plan, your budget, whatever word resonates with you, use that word. If you don't like the word budget, don't use the word budget. Call it a spending plan, because that's really what it is. You're giving your money an assignment, and spending your money on savings is spending your money. So you're just choosing to direct your money to the categories in your life, the things in your life that matter the most. So when you first start out, this is like the spaghetti on the wall. This is awareness. You are just doing a first exercise of taking inventory. This is not a shame game. This is not to beat yourself up over how you've been spending your money. You got here because you're here to do something different, because the pain of staying the same can't be worse than the pain of change. I hope I said that right. It's worse to stay the same than it is to change. And wherever the pain is, you want to do something different because the pain of staying the same is worse than the pain of change. Maybe I got that right. So however I'm supposed to say it, you know what I mean. But when you're first doing it, it's messy and it's easy to quit. It's easy to want to quit because it's sloppy. It's like throwing the whole mix into the bowl. Imagine a bunch of different beads in a bowl and you're trying to pick out the red ones and the orange ones and the green ones. It's like a lot at first, but once you start getting your piles split up, it starts to make a little more sense. You're like, okay, all right, I got a rhythm here. So you're going to do that as your first round just to get awareness, your inventory. You're going to pull all your bank statements, your credit card statements, and you're going to put it together in a way that you can gather it, which is, it can be on paper, pen and paper. There's a lot to be said about just writing stuff down because your brain is processing it as you're writing it. You can do it in a worksheet, an Excel spreadsheet or a Google sheet, wherever it's going to be easiest for you to come back to is where you want to do it. The next step is the beginning of aligning your money with what matters most. Your giving goals, your savings goals, your spending goals on other things for daily life, vacations you might want to take, bigger things that you want to be able to do with your family. It can be anything. So we're going to get into how that unpacks when you're first starting off, because it's not the easiest thing when you're just staring at a bank statement going, where do I even begin? It's a process. You gotta embrace the process. It's not a microwave. It can feel a little more like a crock pot. You gotta be slow, be ready, and be steady. But the main goal is you're just getting comfortable looking at your finances, because it's emotional too. And it can feel very defeating when you're like, oh yeah, like I have to look at this. And it's really hard to look at this because I'm afraid that I'm going to see a mountain that seems unconquerable. And next week, we're going to walk through what looks like a really hard climb out of some debt. And we're going to turn it into a plan that actually is accomplished in a year and 3 months. I'm going to show you how to go from being in debt, overspending, to making some quick decisions without changing your income on the average income. And we're going to talk through how to turn that into a plan that's aligned with giving, with saving, and living on the rest. So here's your teaser. And then the other piece of this is, now that you have a better idea of what you're going to be prioritizing in your spending and your savings and your giving, this is just a plan. A plan is just a plan until it's put into action. And you're going to take imperfect action. You're going to come out of the gate with a plan based on what you think you'll be spending, based on the average of the last 3 months. And I'm going to walk through this next week. But when you take a 3-month average, you're probably going to catch some of the seasonal stuff. The further back you go, the more you'll catch. But in general, within the past quarter, you'll catch some of the seasonality. And sometimes you have to think forward on what are the other things that might come up in the fall, in the winter, that are different than the spring and the summer. Rhythms of life, right? Seasons of life. So when you have your plan, you're going to give yourself some grace, because like I've always said, in the corporate America world, I got into a lot of forecasting work. And I had one manager who said, the forecast is always wrong. So she lightened it up. She lightened up the feeling of it, because it's like there's so much pressure to be right on target, but you're just making your best guess. There are areas that you will be intentional about. And so when I say you're making your best guess, when you're first starting out, you might be making your best guess in some categories. You might not be sure exactly how much you're going to need to average out on for groceries, or what your final grocery budget will be that you land on. It might take you 3 months before you're like, okay, we started out a little aggressive. Reality is we need a little bit more. Or same thing with transportation. Okay, you're learning. This is a big experiment. You're experimenting on yourself a little bit. So when you get it wrong, know that you're learning. And getting it wrong is not bad, because I'm just telling you, I want you to normalize this idea that you're going to get it right out of the gate. I want to challenge you to stick with it. I've always said 3 months. 3-month look back will give you an idea of what the next 3 months might look like. And when you first start out, the first 3 months are going to be the hardest, because it's so new. And anytime you're adding something new, a new routine, a new rhythm, it took a while for you to even get to the point where you're at, that you're even ready to look at your finances. You need to give yourself the space that it could take a little while to find your rhythm going forward. And that's cool. You want to try to avoid the detrimental things that are going to really hurt you for a long period of time. Like, don't just go out and spend on a big ticket item if you really don't know if you can afford it while you're figuring this out. Sometimes you can't avoid it. Life happens. Murphy shows up. This is why you're getting serious about your finances now, to take control of your finances, because you're going to come up with a plan to have emergency savings so that Murphy can't knock at your door anymore. He can go take somebody else's number and bother them, because you're going to have a plan to be prepared. But right now, the first step of all this is getting on a budget, getting on a spending plan, the foundation of hitting your goals, which is a baby emergency fund, getting out of debt, 3 to 6 month emergency fund, saving for college and continuing ed, saving for your future, retirement, getting rid of your house payment, and living and giving like you've never done before, because that's the goal that is worth fighting for. Being able to be more generous with your family, with your friends, being able to say yes to the things that matter to you, being able to say no to the things that don't. Right now, it might feel a little bit upside down. That's okay too. This is a journey. You are on a financial freedom journey. And a journey isn't just one step. A journey isn't just one day. A journey takes a little bit. And you're starting that journey now, because you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. You're sick and tired of your money controlling you. And you're sick and tired of feeling out of control. And this is your first step of getting back in control, getting back in the driver's seat. So I'm excited for you. I want to walk you through something practical next week. I tried to record it today and it just was taking longer. I need to make sure that I get it as concise as possible, but I'm going to put that together to deliver to you guys next week, and I'll remember to come back. I'll try to remember to come back and put that episode in the screen tile at the end of this video so you don't have to go find it. But if you're watching this after I post that other video. So I want to get you excited. When it comes time for that action plan, you're coming out of the gate with a plan and you're going to adjust. All right. It's not as scary as it might sound because I'm coming alongside you to help coach you and encourage you through it. And let's normalize some of the stigmas around this. You can talk about your finances. You can make mistakes. You can correct and adjust and pivot. This isn't a final product. This is a moving, living thing. Your cash flow plan. It's based on what matters to you. So I can't wait to share that video with you. I hope you hang around, come back next week. And if you like this content, I'd love it if you would subscribe and hit the like, share it with somebody who might need to hear this. And you can always jump on my website to see a little bit more about what I'm about and my journey, on my personal finance journey, my freedom out of debt. Leah@moneywisemom.com is my email. And you can get to my website, moneywisemom.com. Anytime you want, you can reach out to me. I have a contact me page. I'd love to hear from you. And jump in the comments. Please share with me what you want to hear. If there's things that are burning on your mind and you're afraid to ask it, sneak it in the comments or send me a message privately and I'll add that content to my videos. I love hearing from you guys. Thanks for being part of this community. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. And I want you to get out there and take control of your finances, and I want to help you do it. Okay, have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.